British fishermen believe UK waters are overfished by other EU countries, and the EU's Common Fisheries Policy (CFP) means they are also restricted as to how much they can fish. Brexit supporter Paul Lyons, who is chairman of Lowestoft Fish Market Alliance, revealed he went into the fishing industry when he left school at 15. Mr. Lyons said his first few years in the fishing industry was an adventure of a lifetime. But he warned the industry began to decline after Britain joined the EU. Speaking exclusively to Express.co.uk while on a fishing boat in the Great Yarmouth, Mr. Lyons said, "Get out and get out tomorrow. Get out of it. Get away from it before it collapses. You don't want to be part of a sinking ship. Get out of it. Get away from it before it collapses." Paul Lyons' strict EU regulations mean that some British fishermen are forced to throw fish back into the sea. The CFP, which aims to make sure fishing is environmentally and economically sustainable, has been ridiculed by British fishermen who believe it will be instrumental in destroying fishing instead of protecting it. The fishing industry boss launched a brutal attack on Prime Minister Theresa May and said he has no confidence in her at all. He said, "She has been seen and known to be a liar. Brexit is Brexit. How many times did she say that? We will take back control. How many times has she said that? Now they come up with this checkers deal where you never leave. I didn't vote not to leave. I didn't vote for them to fudge and talk everyone around and lie and portray themselves as being the greater. But they aren't. Her deal isn't a deal at all. Her deal is to stay, and we will unpick the stitches at a later date. Well, I don't want that. I want to get out, be away and start trading as a proper nation and a sovereign nation." Brexit news. Paul Lyons said Brexit is an adventure of a lifetime. Image, AFP Daily Express. I don't want to be tied up to them no more. We have been in it and we have failed. Our communities and our financial deals, they are no better. We are a nation of strong, hard-working people and we will work ourselves great again. Mr. Lyons is working in the region to make Britain's fishing industry prosper after Britain has left the EU. Mr. Lyons joined fishermen, including Lowestoft fishing boss June Mummery, to create the Renaissance of East Anglian Fishing (REAF) movement, which pledges to make Lowestoft the hub of fishing in the UK. June Mummery, a founder of BFP Eastern, said, "The Lowestoft has been spearheaded to be the renaissance of the East Anglia Fisheries, which is REAF." She added, "REAF will be the pilot scheme which will then repatriate the fishing in each coastal community. So we are looking at Lowestoft, for example. We'd like 20 to 25 meter boats no bigger than 350 horsepower. 30 of those boats in Lowestoft and 30 in Great Yarmouth and other coastal towns. From that we can then catch the fish, process the fish in this country and then send it back to the EU. If they don't want it, then I'm sure we can send it somewhere else. We want to be as great as Norway and Iceland, and we have got this time ahead of us to make sure that happens." When asked what her hopes are for the Brexit end result, Ms. Mummery said, "Power to the people. We'll have our power back. We'll have our fishing industry back, and it's not just about catching the fish. It's about processing. We'll have factories here, processing the fish and sending it over to Europe and if not to China. And then you'll have shipbuilders." Ms. Mummery insisted Britain does not need the EU in order to succeed, adding, "We just want to take full control of our waters, which is the 200 miles and the fish within it, and we can get on with our work. And our work is to build it up." Brexit news. Nigel Farage said Britain's fishing industry can prosper after Brexit. Image, Daily Express. She warned, "If Theresa May does not trade us away, we have got a big future in this country for fishing." With herring being at the heart of Lowestoft's fishing industry for hundreds of years, the region will have the opportunity after Brexit to gain around 36,000 tons of herring, worth an estimated £13.5 million. Prominent Brexiteer and former UKIP leader Nigel Farage has described June as a heroine for her work for Britain's fishing industry. Mr. Farage outlined his hopes for the future of British fishing and said, "All you have to do is look across the North Sea to Norway on the other side. A country that has exactly the same coastal zone and rights as we do, but the difference is they claim it and we don't. We could be, by taking back our fishing waters and by fishing them sensibly and by putting in place the right environmental controls, we could have an industry worth billions of pounds every year to this country. Will Masterson, 27, of Lowestoft Fish Merchants. William Masterson. Mr. Masterson said, "I'm a third generation and it's coming up for 95 years in the fishing industry. So I want to keep it going, but as things stand at the minute, with the fishing down here, we do need an economic boost definitely, and this could be the way." The fishing industry boss said Brexit is a good thing for the fishing industry. He added, "It's definitely good for the fishing industry and maybe even for the transport companies and stuff like that, because any stuff coming into the ports, there's going to be extra for them. It doesn't just start and stop at the fishing industry. There's a whole line of work that can be involved." Lowestoft resident Alan Burrows highlighted on the decline to the region's fishing industry. Mr. Burrows said, "When I first came to Lowestoft, the docks down there were absolutely full. Now, they are empty. 30 years later they are empty. I think everything should be for Britain now." Brexit news. Paul Lyons calls for Britain to get out of EU tomorrow. Image. Daily Express. Brexit news. June Mummery said end result of Brexit will be power to the people. Image. Daily Express. Brexit news. Britain's call for the UK to stop giving money to EU. Image. Daily Express. Despite voting for Remain, resident Mark Williamson is hopeful Brexit will revive Lowestoft's fishing industry. Mr. Williamson said, "It's about time we got our industry back into this community, where they used to make all the nets and everything. That's all derelict and it is all gone. The fish market is gone and it is not enough. We need to get it back here. It's about time they did something and give us back our laws and our fishing rights." But Lowestoft resident Anne Carroll is less hopeful Brexit will provide the town with the opportunity to rejuvenate its fishing industry. Ms. Carroll said, "The whole of the industry has geared so that fishing has gone Grimsby and that way, and even that is not the size that it was. We will never recover the herring fishing industry here. I can remember when herring fishing was here and when we had trawlers here and you would have over 100 boats going out of the harbour." Resident Margaret Lee, who has slowly watched the decline of Britain's fishing industry, said she supported Brexit. She added, "I'm one of the old school, I'm afraid, and I don't see why we should be giving money that our country needs to other countries that have probably got more than what we have got, and that really annoys me when I think about it." Michael Hudson from Great Yarmouth called on Mrs. May to drop her Chequers proposal. He said, "Definitely not Chequers. Out. A clean exit. Nothing to do with Europe whatsoever apart from trade, obviously, and they need us more than we need them because there is a huge deficit in their favor, so they should be crawling to us and not vice versa." During Prime Minister's questions on Wednesday, the Prime Minister said she absolutely recognizes the importance of the fishing industry after Brexit. She added, "As we are going through these negotiations, we have been very clear that once the EU rules no longer apply to the United Kingdom, we will be an independent coastal state, and we will be making those decisions. We will be controlling access to our own waters and we will be seeking to gain a fair share of quotas.